Everybody sleeping in the pandemic. They don't understand what the game is. The government people actually running on them. Now look, this Nancy Pelosi so-called went to Thailand basically and pop off a whole bunch of shit right now so-called with China and everybody. But what you have to understand, people, this is another show they bring into the masses. Another distraction in the pandemic. Like I say, China make everything for America and they acting like China and America is in beef. The same thing they give you with Russia. They're playing adversary of America, but it is bullshit. 100%. One world government control the whole thing. And this Nancy Pelosi right here, government puppet. What you think? As you could see the eagle right there in plain sight. We go get into it and break it down. You see what they're showing right there? We go get into it and see what the noise about. This is just a fuckery they're bringing on the news. Watch it.
The U.S. House Speaker is in Japan right now, where she has defended her tour, including the controversial stop to Taiwan. But China has further protested
So China planned to so-called invade Taiwan, China. So this one right here go and visit Taiwan. So they tell us that China now pissed off. You believe it, people? It's nothing but a joke. They're playing the masses as fool. What you think? The world government never fight. That's why I tell you, don't believe in wars. These people is just fucking puppets playing with you in the New World Order.
Visit with a new show of force. Taiwan says that several Chinese warships and jets have crossed the median line of the...
Of course, yes, war jet and ship passed the median line. You understand? So yes, it set it up for war. And of course, they tell you that Israel actually bombing so-called, Lebanon and all of that. So all of this shit right here gonna start the next world war, I guess. See? Take a look.
One straight, and that a large number of planes have entered its identification zone. Beijing also displayed its anger by announcing sanctions against Nancy Pelosi.
Listen this right here. Sanction against Nancy Pelosi. This one person, just like what they tell you, they're sanctioning Putin, America and the so-called Westerners. Yes, they're sanctioning Putin. So now they tell you China sanctioning this person right here, Nancy Pelosi, and her so-called family. You believe it? Let's listen.
And suspending
Take a look at this right here, people. Look at the handshake. Nobody dumb. You ever seen the Freemason handshake before? There you go right there with the squeezing of the thumb towards the damn knuckle. You see it? Take a look at that right there to show you they are running mind games on the dumb people.
With Washington, the U.S. says that China is overreacting. Let's get more now from Selena Wang in Beijing and Natasha Bertrand in Washington. Selena, let me start with you, because China is sanctioning House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her family, and they're also refusing to cooperate with the...
What does that mean? They put a sanction on Nancy Pelosi and her family. What the fuck does it mean? It's dumb, people. 100% dumb.
On a whole host of issues, including defense, drug smuggling, and even climate change. What more can you tell us?
Wow, drug smuggling and also climate change. You believe this, people? Do you believe this? And China, I tell you, playing a great role in deceiving the dumb masses right now.
Well, Zane, we're seeing China come full force with a whole array of retaliation and backlash, diplomatically, economically, and militarily, of course. And now it is sinking U.S.-China relations to a new low. As you mentioned, they are
sanctioning. And you can never prove it in real life that America and China is not getting along. You can never prove it. All the shit that's selling on Amazon come directly from China. They tell you China and them got beef. China make the gun. America can go to war with China. China make their weapons. The army clothing, the suit they wear, all made in China. Do you believe that? They can't move unless China move. There ain't no factory here in America to make shit. They're all in China. So tell me when America can actually go to war with China. You believe it? It's just to stir up you as the people. They know that you know that China do everything for America, so later on when they tell you they got beef, they can cut you off of all the supplies. 100% in.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her immediate family, they have not shared any information or details about what that will entail.
They can't, because you can't sanction one person. You can't sanction one family. How you gonna do that? And you China? China have nothing to do with America, supposedly. So you're gonna sanction them. You don't have no government in America, so you can stay in China and sanction them in America. Does that make sense? Come on.
A highly symbolic move. And now, critically, they are announcing that they're cutting off dialogue with the U.S. in a wide array of areas. And critically, as you say...
You're hearing yourself. This is the one that's talking on screen. So what do you mean? I tell you, CNN is full with trickery, people. All trickery you get from CNN, and they say it's news. Pay attention right here.
Critically, they are announcing that they're cutting off dialogue with the U.S. in a wide array of areas.
I'm hearing myself.
As you say...
Why somebody in the background say they're hearing themselves and they're not the one who talking? This is the one that talking, but you hearing yourself. Wow.
In climate change. This is a really big deal because climate change is one of the only areas where the U.S. and China were continuing to consistently speak to each other despite the heightened tension.
You hear that, people? They got this big beef going on, but the only time they would get to speak is when they bring up climate change. So they claim that they're going to take that off the board. They're not even going to talk to them about climate change no more. What a dumb shit. You believe it, people? The world's a stage. They're playing with the people who got low IQ.
The last few years. So the fact that they are cutting off dialogue in these key areas, it just shows the state of U.S.-China relations today and just how much mistrust there is between the two sides. And it remains to be seen if the impact of this is reversible. Now, on the military front, we're also seeing China continue to ratchet up its intimidation of Taiwan.
Just like you see them was saying about Russia intimidating Ukraine and they're moving closer. It take them about 5 months. They're moving closer and satellites pick them up from space and they're showing you all of this shit. It's the same thing they're gonna do with the so-called China invading Taiwan because it's gonna happen. They're gonna pull it off. That's how they're gonna do the whole wide world. Just remember that. You see them with the borders and all of this shit going on and everywhere is uprising and protests. The world is done.
To fly a large number of warplanes into Taiwan's self-declared air defense zone. This is the airspace around Taiwan. And a very inflammatory move yesterday, according to Chinese state media, missiles from China.
And the same thing they were showing you when the so-called Russia invasion of Ukraine, way before they invade, they keep showing you these things because it's the same thing I'm going to show you later on and tell you it's a war. You see missile firing, you see they're firing war tanker and everything. What is they doing? And no war there yet, supposedly. You have to pay attention. It's fakery. And look at the top where it says Chinese military videos. You see it? Chinese military video right there. They're showing you them shooting. Where's they shooting at?
Over Taiwan Island for the first time. Not around it, but over it. This is seen as a major escalatory move that military experts tell me go beyond what they expect.
Look at this shit
major
right
escalatory
here,
move that
look military experts. Look what happened to these so-called missiles. Look what happened to them. It exploded right there. It don't go nowhere. Look.
First time, not
look
around
the white
it,
smoke
but
stopped.
over it. This is seen as a major escalatory
move
right
that
here, military
experts look where the white smoke stopped.
tell me go.
That's it. Wow.
Beyond what they expected China to do.
Look at this shit
and saying
right
this
here.
is part of a days-long military drill that's happening in essentially a circle around Taiwan in what China has called a simulation blockade. The message China is
sending. Of course it's simulation. It's just fakery for TV.
To the world is that our powerful and modern military has the ability to choke Taiwan off from the rest of the world at any moment. But when I speak to military experts, they also say, look...
So Taiwan gonna play the next world victim, people. Those are the next people you're gonna raise fund for, right? And take money out of the people's pocket to basically fund these people. And none of the money ever get to them. Because there's no fucking war. Just fake shit for TV. And don't take nothing from CNN. They're full of shit.
These military drills, they take a long time to plan.
Military drill take long to plan because it's only drills. All the shit they're showing you in Ukraine, just drills. Nothing real about it.
Just when they found out Pelosi might have been visiting Taiwan. Some of this had probably been a year in the making, and then they probably made some tweaks to their old outline when they found out about Pelosi's potential visit. But by pegging all of this military activity to House...
Just like they did, people, with the so-called Hillary Clinton, with the Benghazi. This is how they do it, people. Nothing but politics to consume the human being mind. That's what they do. Brainwash is a motherfucker. You see all this shit right here? Yes, it's for your psyche. Right here. All of this shit is to brainwash you into believing what they got going on is actually real. But the real agenda will be here soon. You're gonna see it with your own eyes. I'm gone.